Welcome to today's video. Today we'll be looking at the facade design pattern. We'll see how it is applied in code, and we'll just look at a little example. But first of all, let's look at how and why we need a facade design pattern. So let's say, for example, we have a set of colors that we bought because I'm an artist. Why not? So I'm an artist and I have a job I needed to deliver, and I needed to deliver it today. So I went to the store and got a pack of colors because they all come together. So I was to use the yellow color. That is what I'm supposed to use for this particular work I needed, but I had to get the set all together because they come together. But while I was trying to work, maybe I was distracted and my mind was in there, and I just put my hand into the box and I picked one color. Unfortunately for me, what I picked was the purple color, and this is fatal because it means that my job I'm trying to do will fail, will not be according to what's supposed to be, because the client will be expecting a yellow color, but what you'll be finding there will be a purple color. How could we have fixed this now? So let's say we have our set of colors again. We've gotten it. What I could do was to have another separate, let's say, table or separate place where I could keep a different set of colors. So, and what I would just do there is to put my yellow color there. This basically is the facade design pattern, and that's what is set to achieve. So we have a probably a third-party library that does a lot of things within it. What the facade design pattern does is to abstract away and bring out only the functionalities you are interested in doing. That's basically what the facade design pattern is set to achieve. So that whoever wants to use the functionality doesn't have to interface directly with the third party library, which has different functionalities, and one could mistakenly use a function or make a call that is not proper. So let's look at this with an example. So here I have a .NET 7 web application, and basically if you look here, I have a Redis setup. If you look at my dependencies, I have installed the Redis Stack Exchange. Yeah, so I used an API project just for make it simple, to make it very simple. So I focus on what is really important there. Here, as you see, I have set the configuration to localhost 6379, which is default for Redis on your local machine. And actually, this now you should do it. Don't set your configuration like you always use app settings to do that. So, but for simplicity's sake, we've set our Redis cache here. Now, I could interface directly with the Redis cache, but what we have here is we have our facade here. So if I go to this implementation, so you see, this is actually the library implementation for our caching. So for here now, we're talking of Redis cache. So if I go to this, we see that here we have the get async, we have set async, we have refresh async, we have remove async. So you see there are many functionalities here which we do not necessarily need. What we needed was just to be a way to get our data from our caching. So if you also look at the extension here, if we can look at the extension, you'll see we have the get string async, we have the get string, we have the set string async, we have different implementations here, and all of these are not necessarily needed by us. What we only needed was just the get string async. So why we need this facade is to ensure that wherever we'll be using it, we only make use of what we actually need for our application, and not mistakenly, for example, go and call the set string as string, for example. So as we have here, we have our cache service, and we are injecting the distributed caching, and here we just call the get string and we just pass it into an integer, and if we find it, then we return a result. If we do not find it, we return a -1. So if we go to our controller, our facade controller, we'll see that we are calling injecting the cache service there, and we are calling the get int async. You see, we are specific here and we know. So for example, if I look at what I have in the cache service, you see I do not have any other implementation. All I have there is the get int async implementation. I don't have the set async, set string async. I don't have any other implementation there. So this is like a facade for me, like to ensure that I do not have other functionalities I do not need, which could create issues in future. Imagine we got a new employee today, and then he's trying to work on this application. If he goes to use the iDistribute cache, he could mistakenly call a function that was not necessary, or we did not need, or we do not use, probably for some reason. Maybe it has performance issues, so we decided not to use that particular method and we use another method. What this will do now is, when the user uses this cache service, it makes sure that the user uses what we within our organization want to use. So this is basically the facade. So if, just to show us, if we run this, so we'll have our Swagger coming up in a minute, and what we will find here is that, so let's say we have here, okay, our facade, and then I have, so let's say I put a key, let's say key. Here we find that is actually -1, meaning it doesn't exist in my cache. So what I will just do, we open, so this is Redis Insights. You can use it to just on your local machine, or even on machines that not on your, so far you have the connection into that, you could connect to that. So, but for simplicity's sake, I will just create a key here, and then just call it facade. So, and then the data there will be, let's say 89, and then let's add this to the, so if now here and I try to say facade, I am expecting that should exist, and as we see, it exists. So we are able to abstract away all those that we do not need. Every implementation that is not necessary for us in our organization, or we push them away, so that we do not mistakenly call implementations we do not need. So this is the facade implementation. Hope we did like it. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share. If you have any comments, you can drop them in the comment section. I'll try to respond as soon as possible. Thank you.